As the president of the tip-off club, I want to welcome everybody here. Thank you for coming out tonight. We called this meeting tonight in conjunction with the administration. There are some issues that have come up, and we're obviously doing what we can to take care of it. But we'll just turn the meeting over to the administration, and then afterwards, if we have any questions, then we'll go there when we get there. So we'll just turn it over now to Mr. Shelton.
Well, thank you, Brian. And I do appreciate everybody being out tonight. This might seem a little unusual because we have some guests with us. I mean, that's not typical within the Booster Club with our local media. And I want to thank them for coming out this evening. It says a lot about what Brian and Roger are trying to accomplish, and being transparent and sharing as much information as we possibly can, I think, is critical, so everybody kind of can start wrapping their heads around some things. I can share with you about a little over a week ago, the school was starting to receive some calls from some vendors that is used when I have a tip-off club, and they were contacting Dr. Ramsey because there had been some 90-day past due collections that their was trying to get resolved. At the same time, Brian was also getting some contacts regarding the same type of thing. So it was starting to spiral out pretty quickly. Brian contacted Dr. Ramsey and started sharing, hey, we've got some issues we need to look at. And as we started kind of going through some things, we realized that things weren't adding up. And there were things that almost became beyond our scope of working together. We've been very fortunate over the years to work in conjunction with the Tip-Off Club. The funds that are raised have been a great asset to our players and coaches. And we do a lot of things separately, but we also can come together and work to resolve things as well. So as this was starting to come, as we started reviewing some of the information, it was, like I said, it was pretty clear that it was getting beyond us. And so the Sheriff's Department had been contacted, and they are currently doing a full investigation of misappropriation of funds. We can't really disclose a whole lot after that because it is now a full-blown investigation that the Sheriff's Department is working on, and then they'll turn it over to the DA's office. So with that being said, we have some things that need to be taken care of. Fortunately, Brian and Roger had received some funds this past week. They both had agreed to close down the current account and open up a brand new one. They are both the signers on the account. I'm in full support of that. I know there's some things that need to be taken care of. Some debts with GHSA and, like I said, some vendors. And I believe there's enough funds in there at this time to pay those going forward. It's also that critical time where we have a banquet coming up. So we wanted to make sure that the funds were available to make sure that you guys can continue to put on the banquet that's worthy for our students. So I feel like we're still going in the right direction. But when you have an investigation like this, we don't know which way it's going to lead. We're not here to point fingers and make assumptions. We are here to notify you that this is currently an ongoing investigation. As we go forward, we have to have conversation about putting what we refer to as a moratorium or a freeze in place, where this is probably the best time of year. We don't do a lot of fundraising right now in the tip-off club this time of year. So there's really not a whole lot to do at this point. So we're just going to kind of hold off on that until we get some resolution. I think they've put everything in place. They're to be commended on what they've done so far. Their interest is no different than it was on day one, which is looking at the interest of our students, working with our coaches, and working with our parents to all come together. So this is not a situation anybody really wanted to be in. I promise you that. It's not something that we want to see anything bad come out of it. We have to just figure out what was the breakdown and then follow the lead of our Sheriff's Department. going forward. I know this is also the time of year where we start looking at how we're going to structure Booster Club going forward. And, you know, that's where Dr. Ramsey, myself, we continue to give suggestions, recommendations, but this is your club. It's your opportunities to raise money and give back to your players. So you know, we're here as a resource. We don't like getting those calls, but the moment we get them, we want to work in conjunction with them. So that's what we have at this point as far as sharing with you all. I know there's some of you that maybe want more answers. There's just not a lot to give at this moment. But we felt it was important enough to at least kind of get you in on the front end, because we just didn't want a creation of ideas and theories out there of what's going on. So that's what we can share at this point. Okay. I don't know if I left anything out, guys.
I just want to commend Brian and Roger for bringing it to us right away and being very transparent with it. You know, this could have drug on and on and on, and they did a good job of getting the information to us and really getting out in front of it in the interest of transparency. So I want to commend them on the job they did there. And they've been great to work with as we've been kind of going through this process to get here and try to make sure that everything is taken care of. Primarily making sure the kids get the banquet and that type of stuff at the end of the year. We want to make sure that happens. And they've been great to work with on that. But you know, we do appreciate the work that the club does. As a school, we could do, you know, we could exist. We could do the basics. We could do the uniforms and balls and that type of stuff. The things that y'all do for your kids, you know, really enable them to have a lot more. And I put what our kids have in anybody's, and that's, you know, that's a direct reflection of the work that you do in the community. So, and that's one of the big reasons, because we know a lot of you stood in parking lots and sold tickets and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons that we were able to get out in front of this and let you in on as much as we could, because of the work you do. You know, it's not easy. You know, you do a lot of this for your kids, so we certainly appreciate that. Certainly appreciate the relationship, and we always want a positive relationship with the Booster Club and the school. We're all in this together, doing what's best for kids, so we appreciate that. Appreciate the transparency.
Well, I'll tell you, you may have already been contacted. People want to ask questions. You know, they want answers, you know, and they want it now. And you just got to remind individuals that are approaching you that you don't have a lot of information to share at this point because of the investigation. Once that resolves itself, it'll be out there as well. So just be patient. You know, if people are asking you, people you work with, or other, you know, some of our parents weren't able to be here tonight. We've got some down in baseball that should be traveling back tonight. Just kind of keep that in mind. As soon as we have more information to share, we will absolutely do that. I don't know if there's any questions at this time. Brian?
Who is I mean, this should be public. Who is the focus of the investigation?
That's not public at this time, not through the investigation.
So you can't tell us if it's the tip-off club, individual. You can't tell us the focus of the investigation?
They're investigating the misappropriation of funds into the tip-off club.
Okay.
When's the banquet? We have a date.
That's a great question.
That's what we can answer.
March 13th.
March
13th.
Thank you.
March 13th. We don't have a time yet, but as soon as.
And you guys might pound out some of those
Yeah, we'll
details
figure
tonight.
that out.
I mean, usually, what do you have, 6, 7 parents here?
We got a lot of parents.
And yes,
Is the sheriff's department, are they staffed to where they can do what I would consider an audit? I mean,
That's a good
is
question.
that for what you know?
They have let us in on a little bit of information of some investigations they've done. They are more than capable of handling this, but they also have an outside, like a third party, like, the word that he used was like a forensic auditor.
Yeah, they come in contract with somebody to do their audit.
And they do that for them. He said they're very thorough, that they'll be able to map it all out and lay it all out in front of you in every detail.
and the reasons that they contract out is because the GBI is so backed up.
Yeah.
They won't be able to get it sooner, so they contract out to try to get resolution sooner, where it would go through the GBI, which is
But the company they contract with, I think it's ROCI, if I remember right, but that's all they do is, I shouldn't say this, like with criminal accountants, they look for criminal activity and bookkeeping, that's their specialty, that's all they do.
There's a timeline given that this come out of.
Any other questions?
Did you try to do an internal resolution on this before going to the
Yes, sir.
sheriff? Okay.
We tried to do an internal resolution. We had a board meeting, just the tip-off board. Once we were unable to get the answers that we needed, and get the information we needed, at that point, we turned it over. We went to the administration of the school and then to the sheriff's department.
And just to follow, that was last week you went to the sheriff's department?
The executive board meeting was February the 9th, is when we had that. So that was week before last.
Then we went to the sheriff's department on Valentine. I think it was on Valentine, right?
So the 9th is when you felt you couldn't find resolution internally? Okay, thank you.
Mark?
Who were the previous authorized signers or users to that account?
I don't know at this time if that's something that I can comment on. Sorry about that. That's, in this country, we are
Have an
all
attorney, right?
innocent. Yes.
Okay.
In this country, we are all innocent until proven guilty.
Amen.
So we'll just leave it at that.
Excuse me, can you tell us how much money we're talking about?
Once again, no, I can't give specifics. That was according to the investigator. There are really no specifics we can give.
We're not really sure
Yeah,
as to how much it
that's-
nor is investigated.
The important thing to know is we have the funds to take care of all the activity that transpired this past year and for the banquet.
We get that from you guys, and how does that work?
Money has been recovered, some money's been recovered, and then we will not let our kids go without.
Right.
No, but before we knew if we would have any, obviously,
Yeah.
the school had said they would take care of it for us.
Yeah.
And it was on I assumed it was on a we'll pay you back type basis, obviously. But like Mr. Sheff said, we did recover some money. And at that point, it's enough to take care of what bills we have with vendors and take care of the banquet.
You may have already answered this, but this is under investigation, but going forward, have you guys already met and started working out something for the future of hopefully this doesn't happen again, different checks and balances? Is that being worked out now?
Yeah, we meet yearly with not just the golf club, all booster clubs.
Right.
Across the school. The booster clubs are separate from the school, yet we work together, if that makes sense. And we give some recommendations, and we'll be giving additional recommendations to all clubs on some internal controls and just reminders and those type of things. So last year we did it in December. I think this year we'll probably wait until this is completed, and then we'll bring every booster club in and just kind of talk about some things.
And specifically for our club, we are going to enact some different amendments to our bylaws to make sure that there is more oversight with the monies. Anybody else?
There it is.
You did say the vendors that called at 90 days, they're paid now?
They will be.
They will be,
So,
okay. So all vendors will get payment?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most definitely.
And they've been very understanding of the situation, so it's not gonna impact any relationship that Tip-Off has with their vendors they've used in years past.
And it's not the tip-off, it's the school in general. I mean, these are vendors that multiple sports use. It's true. And we need to make sure that they're willing to help our school, not just the tip-off.
I do have a question, and you may not be able to answer it, but is this season only, or is it, how far back does this thing go?
Well, and that's part of the investigation. They're gonna follow a trail.
Yeah.
And it's wherever that trail takes them. And so it could be a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year review, you know, and it just depends on what is turned up. So that's why it's hard to even give a timeline, because you don't know how much volume you may be dealing with.
Yeah.
That's a good question, because we asked that too.
It was this year that started it. It was this year that started it, and now once they get into it, you'll see how far it goes.
Well,
If not,
I've been in, I think there's been a huge discrepancy in the last few years anyway, you know, so.
right. So we don't anticipate it's gonna be a widespread thing, but, you know, that'll be what they determine. And again, y'all understand, this is the detective telling us kind of what we can and can't say. So, anytime there's an open investigation, what you can say on it's very, very limited. And that's a good thing, because you don't want to say something, because we are innocent until proven guilty. And, so you don't want to say anything that might come back to be a false statement. So, we appreciate y'all's understanding on that.
Well, I know you guys have some other additional business to do, getting rid of the banquet and going over that information, so. I don't know if there's anything else for us at this moment. I want you guys to be able to get your heads around what you're doing for your banquet and, kind of conduct your meeting. You guys are certainly welcome to listen how we're gonna get together for a celebration on the 13th.
So, no more questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace, right? Been told that before. Been told that before, right? Okay. Our banquet coming up on the 13th. I don't know if anybody has any suggestions on what they want to do with that. I know last year I thought it went well. We used Shane's, and economically they were, the price I think was real good. They came and took care of it all, cleaned up and ready. So, I mean, unless somebody had a problem with that, I'm all about, if possible, let's use them again. You know, I think they did us a good job.
How do they do in supporting us? That's the biggest thing I've got with using any outside vendors. What should they do to support us?
I don't think that they have any ads or programs.
I know they do in county school system, that's where they're located.
I don't know if we've ever went to them and asked them. I mean, if we have, whoever did that would have to speak up.
A lot of businesses are just like, a lot of the players are saying they didn't like that they liked it.
Well, if that's the case, that's okay.
The reason we wound up with Shane's is I think we checked with like 5 different food service people and restaurants, and that was about the most affordable. And they done all the serving, they done all the cleanup.
There's not a lot of options, I guess, really.
Not a lot, but there's some, but I mean, for what they provided, I thought we got a great deal, to be honest.
And that's supporting us, if it's a good price, that's very supportive.
You know, I'll have to look back, but I want to say that they were quite a bit more than $1.50, $2.
It was substantial.
And they served last year as well. And that was very minimal cost, and they came in and served, set up, served, and cleaned up also.
But I mean, I'm willing to look at anything, anybody wants to.
Yes, ma'am.
Something we were just talking about, should we maybe sell, I don't know, tickets or pre-sell tickets or something to get a better head count this year, since cost is kind of very important, you know, to get a better number.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that, I mean, because that will obviously make it much more efficient.
And then you're not dealing with money the night of either.
Right, that's true. To a point, because even then, you're gonna have folks that are gonna come to the door and want to buy tickets, so you gotta kind of expect that first time. Yeah, because it seems like last year, did we not do, the kids not do like a pre-buy, like for I think we paid for players and 2 parents, is that correct? Is that what we paid for last year? So anybody over the
Was it senior parents?
No, I think we paid for every player and two parents. And the reason I say that is, I mean, our bill was a little over $1,000
I thought we
last
had
year.
one player and two parents.
Okay.
I think we paid last year.
So,
I thought it was senior parents, but I'm not sure.
Senior parents and all players.
Senior parents.
I think we played, I think I made.
well, then that's fine, that's how.
I think it's time.
Well, if, you know, if we don't wanna do, Shane's, is there anything else? Is there anything, any other suggestions that anybody has, Robin? If we don't do Shane's,
All around. Actually, it's catered, I think. I don't know if they don't serve.
Who wants to be on the committee?
What are you looking at me for?
Now, you're looking.
I just said they didn't.
You spoke up. That's volunteer.
I don't care. Call around and see.
We need a committee for the food. The banquet.
I just say we go to Shane's.
That's easy way out there.
Why don't we let us go all about it and say?
I'm sorry? Well, and we can, but yeah, we'll have to, okay, look, if everybody's in agreement with that and y'all wanna let the kids decide,
And they take
well,
it out.
but listen, if we do that, we would have to narrow it down to 2 or 3 options is all they get.
We'll get the seniors and let them decide. Everybody
Yes,
else
that's a good
have it.
Well,
idea.
and I'm okay with that too. But
Keep different places.
I agree with
But
you.
even if the seniors do it, we need to have
Just a couple of options, yeah, 2 or 3 options. I mean, if everybody's okay with
All right,
that.
let the coaches pick a senior from the boys and the coaches pick a senior from the girls.
There's 2 options, there you go.
What's the two?
I said, let the coaches pick one senior from each team and let them be their vote for their team.
Give them 3 choices.
What's the 3 choices gonna
Well,
be?
we've not determined that. Yes.
That's the hard part.
That is the hard part. Obviously, Shane's would be one of them. Yeah, let's do this. Let me get some prices. Let me get some prices on a per plate. And then, what makes you think I was not going to be president? I did say that. I said that at the very first meeting.
You change your mind.
What are you suggesting for food? Anybody?
Anybody that has suggestions, I'll be more than happy to call Randy. So,
Okay, Southern Charm.
Southern Charm, there we go, I knew you were gonna say that.
And they support us? They will.
Yes, they do, they do. Next year, she's gonna do an ad on the ground, so.
Johnny Stevens does Citizens every year. Man, it's good, it's as good a barbecue as you'll ever eat. He feeds
And he'll
probably,
just pull up behind the cafeteria.
yeah, probably 200 people down there every fall. He may
Can you
be,
give me his number?
yeah.
You give me his number, I'll call him.
Bradford barbecued soccer last year.
Was he good? That's over in, Copper Hill, right? Yeah, I
I don't remember what we
heard
paid, but it was priced really well.
I heard they're really good.
But then you want like more options other than barbecue.
Sure. Yeah, we can do.
I know Lookie's the basic part of the scope.
Yeah,
They bring it back to the pizza type thing, which we may be trying to shoot a little higher than that, spaghetti. So they done a lot for baseball.
Polar ice is good. Pretty good.
I just want y'all to know,
Bring it on
I
down.
am the president and the secretary right now. So that's why I'm here. Okay, so anything else, because let's stop that right there, if that's good. That's, 6 options so
Hey, the
far.
only thing that we want to request is whoever's gonna be doing the cater to set up and clean up and do everything. Because if not, there's only so many of us that do that, so,
Answer.
yeah.
Well, I understand.
Everything.
Look, and this is something that while we've been talking with the administration this whole time through all this, they understand also that a lot of times in all booster clubs, not just in tip-off, but in band and football and all of them, you know, you have a small percentage that does the majority of the work. And I know that when you get to this time of the year, the ones that have been doing that are tired. They don't want to do it no more, you know? So I get that. And I understand wanting to have somebody that caters and cleans up. I understand that. So that's okay. We'll check all the options. And if somebody's just unreasonably cheaper and it's gonna be just as good food, I may have to, don't anybody let my wife hear this, I may have to bring a mop and broom and clean up myself. But I mean, we'll check and see. You know, we'll check, okay? As far as your plaques and trophies and stuff that you're gonna do for players, y'all got that kind of, y'all waiting on me. You're waiting on me.
We just
Can we get some
done
prices on
nothing.
that, so we'll know kind of?
Now, let me,
Be very similar to last year's.
okay. Let me ask you a question. Are you thinking about using Ms. Reese again? Is that who you're thinking about using for this?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we use them.
Okay.
Where's that at, Jack?
That's the one you have to use.
We just usually use them for Christmas.
Okay. Well, let's, I'll go back and look through the minutes, because I don't have, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't really have a lot of financial records.
I know who we used last year.
If I don't have an invoice for it, I don't know.
I've still got an email for it.
We can check emails to see
Okay, I appreciate that.
if they send.
Yeah, and that's been asked. I've been asked about Letterman jackets and the tip-off club's contribution to that. I really want to hold off on that, on what we say or vote or say what we might do, because I'm not sure how much funding we have, you know, honest. So, we have, I don't know.
What's your normal contribution?
Last year, I think it was $100 per player.
How many players?
I got 2.
How many players we have?
How many? We got 6 total.
6 total?
And how is that? Because the rule is you play half the quarter, so how do we have 6?
We'll check the handbook and see what the letter, every coach has letter.
Last year and the year before, is we didn't just give the money to them. It was, you bring us the receipt from where you paid your deposit or whatever, and they would write you a check back for whatever the agreed upon amount was that year. And I want to say, it was $100 or $110, how it worked out per child, per new letter, up to a certain amount, depending on, obviously.
Well, that's what you got, you got to
kids
set
letter,
that.
yeah. Then you
Well, you've got to set how much per kid, because you can order a Letterman's jacket that's not very expensive, or you can order one that's very expensive, so.
But we gotta make sure that they're earning this letter jacket that we're paying for also, because there's rules on that.
So, Mr. Henderson, I'll make sure I understand. If we don't have the money, you'll contribute $100.
$100 per kid. Because I don't want this to affect the kids.
Right.
You know, so I don't want them to miss out on something because of something else that went on, that they have nothing to do with, so. Yeah.
And we don't either.
Yes, sir.
And of all y'all that are sitting here, I mean, I know we've already moved this, but it's, you know, I understand. We all stood out in the heat, and we all worked a Christmas tournament, and picked up garbage after games, and did all that stuff. I know that. And, it's gonna be taken care of. It's gonna, you know, I hate that I'm on board and this happened. I mean, it just makes me want to run. But in a way, I'm glad, because I know I'm gonna make sure it's taken care of. You know what I mean? I mean, we're gonna make sure that what we have raised for our kids that we have. And I've always said it's about the kids. And it always has. I know you want to quit. I saw your wheels turn.
Without school assistance, and we do appreciate it very much, do we know, I know we know, we better know, what is our account balance now? Are we negative? Is that something that we
You tell what's in there right now.
We have a brand new account. We have
Yeah.
a brand new account. I did bring that because I figured that would be a question.
And it's been a question in months.
I know that. When we made our new account, we were able to transfer over to our new account $3,456. okay? After some monies that were recovered, we now have a balance of $19,148.30. So we've got almost $20,000 in the bank. Okay.
But we got some outstanding.
Yeah, and like I say, we owe BSN. We have owed BSN since November. That's who we get our uniforms, our shoes, our socks, our sweats, the big one, yes.
But also, that was, the officials association from the Christmas tournament.
We owe our
And
referees.
I had called them and talked to them, and they were very understanding. I called everybody, and everybody was very understanding, they understood what we were dealing with, and obviously we're willing to be patient. And then GHSA, and the schools already paid GHSA, there was a sanctioning fee for the Christmas tournament, the schools already paid that one, so that was taken
Which we
care of.
will have to reimburse. The thing is.
Well, but the important thing is it's outstanding, we
yes.
won't worry about reimbursement right now.
We've got our BSN cameras that we've got to get paid, and we've got a almost $5,000 referee bill from the Christmas tournament that we've got to get paid. We've got a few smaller bills, we've got some locker tags that we need to pay, we've got a trophy bill out of Jasper we've got to get paid that I've been in contact with her. We've got enough money to do that. So, the biggest thing is waiting to get our new checks, because I don't know I haven't opened a checking account in 20 years, you know? It used to, you got a book, you know what I mean? You get now 4 starter checks, is all you get with an account. That's not gonna do it. So they're supposed to be here, middle of the week, they're gonna be at the bank and they're gonna call me as soon as they get there. So, and as soon as I get that, it'll be the check.
They actually have to get approval from the detective and DA to be able to use this money.
Yeah,
Because
we had to
they
hold
have
check for a while.
Well, they just have to get approval to be able to use that money.
All right, we need another meeting after all that's said and done.
Yeah, well, look, we will, and like I said, we're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
We don't want to slander anyone, and we do not want to rush to judgment, okay?
Well, I'll tell you this too, the detective, when we met with him, I think I'd be okay telling you this, he said that he usually doesn't do this, but he will, once the investigation is complete, since we're a fundraising club, he'll be happy to come and do a whole presentation on his
To the entire club.
investigation to the entire club.
He'll come one night to a meeting and lay it all out and let everybody see what happened, what they think.
So when we hear when that will be, we'll absolutely let everybody know.
We, like Mr. Shelby said, all fundraising obviously has ceased until this is figured out. We do have the funds to take care of what we need to take care of. And once, we don't have a definite date.
No.
We're hoping around the 1st of April, but it just depends.
That's all out of our hands.
Yeah.
You know, from the time it was turned over to the sheriff's department, it's out of our hands. We've been told what we can say, you know, we've been told how we can proceed.
We went to class.
And this moratorium that the club is in is only because there's an investigation going on. And then, you know, once that, it's not a judgment on anybody, it's not anything like that, it's just, you know, we have to make sure that everything kind of holds steady until they're able to complete the investigation. And then, obviously, we'll reconvene and it's not like y'all want to know, I'm sure, you know, once the investigation, we'll know all together. But like he said, the detective's willing to come and give us a presentation on kind of how it all happened and you know, what the findings were. I don't know what the limits of that would be, I don't know what he can and can't say himself, but I know that he did volunteer because it's a school club and, you know, a nonprofit organization, so he volunteered to come and give that information. But understand that this is not a judgment of anybody, this is just, you know, the club will be placed in moratorium until we can get some resolution. And then we'll get back together and get started up again, moving forward. And we will, at that point, you know, discuss some more controls and options, and hopefully with the understanding that that's a protection, you know.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
It's not, you know, that we want to tell you what to do, it's a protection for the club, because these guys, you know, they kind of put their neck out there and take responsibility for this money, and we want as many protections as possible in place for them, so that when something like this happens, well, hopefully protections that keep things like this.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we have 19,000. What are the debits? What's the debits? Do not know.
I can't say.
So
But
we,
it's-
so
would it
we
be
don't
under-
know if we have
I
any or
can't,
not.
I can't give any specifics.
What do you,
Outstanding balances.
Oh, outstanding balances, yes,
Yeah.
yes. BSN, I think, is in the $6,000 range.
BSN, GHSA, referees, locker tags,
And
plays, and trophies.
Pick out shirts.
And peak out shirts.
Peak out shirts. And I don't know who's that from.
Extreme.
Extreme.
There's not gonna be a ton left, but there's enough to do the banquet.
There we
Yes.
go. You think there's any more bills that you're not aware of that are out?
Well, that's why they wanted to do a moratorium and like booking, okay? This account is closed, and we're for the most part waiting to see if we have any more checks come in, or, you know,
Potentially be.
we don't know.
I honestly think we would have heard by this point.
Yeah,
because,
we've not had any other creditors calling, so.
I was getting a lot of calls during that time frame from people because these are bills that were, you know, a lot of them 90 days past due. So I think if there was anything out there, at this point, we would probably have heard.
We also, I'm sorry, one other one was the senior banner bill for Jerry Daves, we owe that to.
What about Coke? You know, I know we had a big bill with Coca-Cola from the banquet, from the Christmas. Is that, you know anything on that?
I don't know. I think, they've not been and our rep is obviously in contact with the school, because he does all of the school. And, he has not, I think we're up to date.
We've not been,
Yeah, so.
not been contacted by them at all, so that's a good sign at this point.
Yeah.
You know, as far out as some of this stuff is, that's a good sign. Because we're toward the end of February, and the Christmas tournament was December, so I would think they'd be.
I know everybody has tons of questions, I know, but you just gotta bear with us, because we're just not at liberty to say. I mean, I know it doesn't really ease your mind too much, but it is what it is at this point. And we're gonna, yes, sir.
So are you guys the only two officers at this point, and what's the plan?
Yes, sir, we are the only, we are the only two.
That's what we're saying, we're in a moratorium
Yeah.
until we
Nothing-
get this done.
nothing-
Yeah, and then obviously it'll be just like.
We will have obviously our elections, coming up in May. Lord God, I hope somebody wants to be on the board. I do want to say this, and Roger and I have been in agreement about this. This would be the time to be the treasurer of the tip-off club, because it is a start anew from a brand new book. It really is. But, I mean, you can look at that either way you want to look at it. Yeah, we are the only two board members. Our secretary, stepped down, back in November, just due to work. She just had a lot of work.
What's the agenda? Like, give us a breakdown of the agenda, like what we're working on. Banquet first, or get the checks made out first, or
Well, checks will be made out as soon as we get our checks in.
that'll be this week? Okay.
Hey, dear, will you ask Ms. Dawson to come in here, please?
Yeah.
That's the main thing, Julie, we're doing, is just getting those invoices paid, see how much money we got, working the banquet. The school-
Ms. Dawson.
Miss Dawson.
We can't ask you that, we gotta know, he wants to know if he can say this.
I didn't know you had.
No, I got called outside and I knew.
But
Let's think of some.
I told her to put the heater on today.
The reality, there's not a whole lot more to be said.
There's really-
Rest it and go home.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Okay.
I said the motion.
All right.
We've got a A motion to end in a second. All in favor? We will call a meeting